Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. It's been a good hot minute since I put out any videos on Kingdom Death stuff. Needless to say, there's been an absolute pile of releases since the last time I bothered to film anything, and it's always nice to see that people are interested in these. This particular figure, because it's not like I don't have a ridiculous backlog, and I've just been trying to work through them, and if you guys still want to see them, by all means, let me know in the comments below. But this one stood out to me. This is one of the more recent kits. This is Brave and Hollow on the Journey to Dedheim. And it's the first time we've seen kind of like a double figure as one. Plus, it just looked pretty cool, I gotta say, as they're like being barraged by whatever unseen forces. So I am going to go ahead and we'll take a look at this and see what's awaiting us in the box. Sadly, this is not the usual two-piece package. It's just a cardboard box. I don't know, with the pumpkin there, though, definitely makes me think it's a seasonal Halloween type figure. I could be wrong. I feel like we originally saw these figures either in the Butcher upgrade one-shot release thing. Was it the Giga Butcher, Colonium Butcher, I think? Or was it with one of the other kits? I'm not 100% sure. So right off the bat, you see we do have a custom base insert. Quite a few parts, but obviously we also have basically two figures worth being stacked on top of each other. I do want to say that we are supposed to have a head choice for Brave. I want to say there is a skull head and a typical head. Here you can see the skull. I have not come across the human face anywhere yet. I'm sure it's there somewhere and I just haven't caught it. It's right by my index finger. So you have a choice that's A30. I'm curious if the skull head, wherever it may be, is going to be something else then. Nope, it's A36, but everything on the frame is A. I'm like, that's going to be a bit of a challenge figuring out what's what then. Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to give major spoilers, and I'm sure most of this stuff has already been spoiled by the internet anyways, but I do like to see what's included. I'll let you guys figure that out as I cover up all of that. We've got different types of pumpkins. We've got the Sword of Doom. Interesting stats. We'll look more closely at that later. Sadly, we don't have any kind of color piece on it. That would have been a nice little addition. Okay, we've got our seed patterns. We've got all of these. If there was ever a figure that I feel like would have come off really cool having some kind of extra bonus insert, it would have been this. What the heck happened? Because like I said, I feel like we've seen these models before. And yeah, I know obviously that's some armor related to the Dragon King, if I remember correctly. But I'm like really confident that we've seen these figures before, and I hopefully don't have to eat those words after I've put them together. But I'm going to dig through my collection of sadly unpainted, unfinished Kingdom Death models and see if I can prove myself correct here. If I can't, well, like I said, I'll have to eat those words then. But pretty sure I have. But let's stop talking. Let's start seeing more results. So sit tight. Well, despite not having any access to instructions of any kind on this kit, I did manage to get Brave and Hollow put together. It was not an easy task at first, and at the time I was building this, I didn't even see any online. You'll notice there's some ugly gaps here on the arms. I don't know what I could have done differently other than have a clue what to do. Obviously, you're going to want to build up the body first, but you're going to have to attach that cloak and the arm in order to have that strap that on Brave here has the little heart there. That's going to connect to Hollow. Now, Hollow actually at the moment is not glued on. And she has some little notches, and I'll go over those in a sec here. And you'll notice that I put the skull face on Brave, and he also has a skeletal hand. So those parts, and probably part of the reason why there's a little bit of leeway on that shoulder is because his left hand, you can see he's got a human hand, and then somewhere, it's escaping me at the moment, you've got the human head as well. But I figured as I bounce the camera around here, I've already got, you know, the actual figure of Brave. Yeah, he doesn't have a cloak attached at the moment. He does have one. This is like one of those figures that I'm like, eventually I'll get around to it. And then we also have Hollow here as well, in a whole lot better shape. But I thought, since we've got the actual figures, especially since she's in such bad shape, why does he get off so easy, right? That's not fair. So this kit was probably the most pieces for a human-sized Survivor figure at this point. Yeah, technically it's 2. But a couple of things worth mentioning are the little bits and pieces that are going to be kind of flapping around them. You'll notice there's like leaves or feathers. I'm assuming they're leaves, being, you know, the holiday fall figure so closely released near Halloween, and especially with the skeletal face too. So there's supposed to be like the leaves and things kind of blowing around as he's just kind of facing against the storm here. There's another set of leaves down here by his feet. There is an actual little notch there, and there's a little cutout on Hollow's head that is going to allow those to go on. I thought there was a third, but it's actually the ones that are going to attach to the top, I just had blue tack on there, of the pumpkin base that's kind of hiding there. And then you have the spirit thing that's slinking off from the winds or whatever is attacking them. So you can see these 2 notches right here. That's where Hollow, there's actually a third, is going to attach. One, two, three. So that's not too much of a challenge. It's just a matter of really making sure you dry fit everything. I mean, even in terms of the size of this model, it's not like super gigantic, but it was pricey, I gotta say. Even for a Kingdom Death figure, and I was kind of shocked, well, I guess not super shocked, over the fact that they didn't have her for sale on Black Friday, considering they just released. And in case you guys aren't sure, if you've never seen these models in scale with anything else, I do try to make it a point. The Kingdom Death figures are big, and I feel like, personally, I feel like they're getting bigger. Using a WizKids example right here, you can see there is definitely some differences in size. Using like a War Games Atlantic Knight here that is not painted, shockingly enough. You can see that you get some serious examples of size difference. If you ever wanted to just use some of these Kingdom Death models as, you know, heroes and something else, that's what we've done in the past, using them for Frostgrave. I'm like, with all of the Trench Crusade insanity going on right now, I'm kind of curious. We have like, what, maybe 1, possibly 2 figures off the top of my head that I feel like could probably pass for figures in that as heroes, but some of the more crazy screwed up stuff for sure, I guess. I'm also kind of annoyed about the Indomitable Heroes set that they had for Black Friday. Mostly just because I've picked up not all of them, but some of them, and then it was like, that would have been nice if I knew that option was coming, but that's always the case. Hindsight is horrible with Kingdom Death. Longclaw was a kind of cool little one. Of course, I am glad, I guess, that I did not glue my 3D board together yet. You better believe that I already went ahead and got my plastic terrain kit. But overall, fun little figure. It's going to probably take me forever to get around to finishing it, but that seems to be the case with a lot of my Kingdom Death models. Never is there a lull in the backlog of stuff. I just found where I'd put this figure, in fact. I forget what she was called. Definitely got to get around to that. But I don't know about you guys. I am excited with the amount of new content we have coming towards us, and with the annual Black Friday update dropping and giving me all kinds of fun things to look forward to, never been a dull moment with the Kingdom Death stuff. So hopefully, if you guys are curious, like I said, it isn't too complex. Just make sure you don't lose the little bits that are going to get blown around. And I absolutely had to use the box art and the website to try to figure that out. The worst, again, was the back, because I had no idea what was going on there until I actually tried it myself. There weren't even any good photos. So dry fit everything, see if you can get a better fit on that cloak than I did, and hopefully you guys are going to have less analysis paralysis of trying to figure out which versions to build. Obviously, I finally figured mine out. So, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye!